he knows this is the last chance you're getting against this guy. I mean, unless they decide to do a jiu-jitsu match long after their MMA careers are both over, if you want to ever beat this guy, the time is now. What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to your home for all things combat sports.
Yo.
So, Nick, Glover Teixeira, Jamahal Hill, there's a lot to unpack here. Obviously, the toughness of Glover Teixeira, which we've come to know over the decades, was on full display. But I think the story here is Jamahal Hill really answering the questions that we had about him, and most importantly, he had about himself.
Yeah, it was a great way to start the 2023 year pay-per-view wise. When you get the call, when you get the opportunity, you have to seize your moment, and Jamahal Hill did just that. I think he really is going to come into his own after now proving to himself just how good he is.
Yeah, and one thing he said leading up to this fight really stuck with me, and that was, the question of, am I good enough? Do I belong? Am I really championship material? It's a question that I just wanted the opportunity to answer, and I thought there was a lot to that statement. It's not saying, you know what, I am the best in the world, even though every fighter should walk around, as you said, with that type of confidence, but he really wanted to prove to himself and to everybody whether or not he actually belonged, and he was given his opportunity and he rose to the occasion. So with that said, I think we have to look at the points of criticism and where we actually thought Jamahal needed to show us a little bit before we can really say he is championship material. And one of those is, does he have the durability to last a 5-round fight? Jamahal Hill's got very heavy hands. He's known for quick knockouts. He gets out there and gets it done in the first or second round. But if a fight starts to go 3, 4, 5 rounds, if there is some adversity, if he's hitting somebody with everything that he's got and that person's not going away, does he have the wherewithal to see it all the way through and get his hand raised and grind it out? And the answer to that question last night is a resounding yes. The other question that I had personally for Jamahal was, he's not known as a grappler. He is not a grappler. If he gets taken down by a superior grappler, and Glover's one of the best grapplers that the light heavyweight division has seen, can he maintain composure? Can he maintain position, not absorb too much damage, and wait for his opportunity and moment to get back to his feet? The answer to that question was also yes. So I think sitting at number 7 going into the fight last night and now being the undisputed champion, Jamahal Hill showed us a lot in 25 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a big jump going from 7 to now champion. But you could tell from his game plan, he was going to go in there and do what he does best, which is go for the finish early on and see what happens. And usually he brings such a big storm. At 205, everybody throws hard shots, but he seems to be throwing heavier punches than most people. Usually nobody's left standing. Glover Teixeira is one of the hardest people in the division to finish. He's one of the toughest guys. You've said it before. He's got one of the best chins in the sport.
Top 5, for sure, of all time.
He's so durable, so hard to put out. And Jamahal Hill really did throw everything he had at him right at the beginning of the fight. He's sending great kicks to the head. He's sending a plethora of shots. He's not just a guy that throws 1s and 2s and big hooks as far as striking goes. He's got great kicks. He's got great timing, and he's really good with the inside boxing and the outside range. So he answered a lot of questions, I think, for himself. But at the same time, once he realized that Glover wasn't going out without a fight, he had to bite down on his mouthpiece and continue to go through these rounds. And I think that it was really impressive to see how he was able to throw with such power from early on and maintain it all the way into the 5th round. Like, some of those shots he was throwing in the 5th round were just as powerful as some of those ones he was throwing in the 1st round. And that shows you he's got a serious gas tank. He's got some really good cardio. And if he's able to maintain the same pop that he has in the 5th round that he has in the 1st round, he's going to be trouble for a lot of people, especially because not a lot of people in the 205 division have the grappling skills and the submission ability that Glover has, which he just showed he's able to escape and get out of.
Definitely. And, we saw Glover retire after the fight. I think that was the right move. He's going to move into helping Alex Pereira kind of progress his career. And who knows, this kind of does set the stage for a potential Pereira versus Jamahal Hill showdown. The pupil gets his opportunity to take out the guy that beat his mentor, and that's pretty cool. There's a good storyline there. Obviously, Jiří Procházka posted a video early in the morning. He's pretty fired up. He congratulated Jamahal Hill and then screamed into the phone that he's coming for him. So I think that's a great fight as well. That's probably the one that'll get made next, depending on when Procházka is ready to come back. Because I think Jamahal, that was a war, but it was kind of a one-sided beatdown, and Jamahal was swinging the hammer. So I don't think he's going to need a whole lot of time to recover, maybe 3-4 months, and he could probably get in there International Fight Week sometime during the summer or maybe the early fall. So just depending on when Procházka can come back, they'll likely set that fight up. But here's the thing. When Glover fought Jiří, Glover had Jiří hurt against the cage multiple times. Jiří's a great fighter, but he does get hit a lot, and Jamahal Hill is not somebody you have the luxury of taking a whole hell of a lot of shots from.
That's for sure. And, you know, everybody these days is wanting to go for champ status. And I know that Glover came out after the fight and said he's really excited to focus on Poatan's career, and he's going to help him go through the middleweight division for a little while and then move up to 205. If I were Glover and I were Poatan, I would go right into 205 right now. Glover is no longer the reason that you have to stay at 185. And the timing is just perfect. You know, 185 still needs a top contender to emerge. And after we've seen Izzy, you know, stub his toe and not get his hand raised against Poatan, and now, even though they're 3-0 and it's only been one fight in MMA and he's likely going to get the next title shot at 185, I'm sure the fans would like to see Pereira fight somebody else other than Izzy Adesanya. And I think Pereira would like that as well. So I feel like just because of the timing of the way the division's going, Alex Pereira should move up to 205 immediately, because I think that with Jiří being out and with a really bad shoulder injury that they said is going to be a minimum of 6 months into the year, Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev both taking tons of damage in that last fight and probably not being able to fight until the second half of 2023. Jamahal Hill and Alex Pereira could probably get a fight going sometime in April or May and be able to get that ball rolling for Jamahal Hill's title run and get Alex Pereira moving on to the champ status that everybody now wants to try to attain. I think even though Alex Pereira wants to be the 185 champ for a few more fights and then move himself up, the timing is now, and he has to move up to 205 right now so he can go challenge for that champ status. And I think stylistically, he's a nightmare for Jamahal Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I love that fight, and I think that it does make some sense to look at potentially making that. We don't know how long Izzy wants to be out. You know, Izzy, when he comes back and does fight Alex, he knows this is the last chance you're getting against this guy. I mean, unless they decide to do a jiu-jitsu match long after their MMA careers are both over, if you want to ever beat this guy, the time is now. So I don't see Izzy. He's been the champion for a long time. He's not the champion now. He's kind of fallen into that contender status, which he seems to be comfortable with. But if I'm him, I'm waiting until the right moment. I'm letting myself heal up fully. I'm training properly. I'm adding some things to my camp to make damn sure that at the last and final crack I get at this guy, I beat him. So I think that he's not going to be chomping at the bit to get in there early summer. He may wait until the later half of 2023, which would set up a quick pop up to 205 for Pereira to try to avenge his mentor's loss. And I love it. I love that fight. I love Jiří. I like Jamahal as the champion. I think he's a great guy. This is his first time out of the country. What a way to experience your first time out of the United States of America. You come home with some gold strapped around your waist. All in all, a good night, and I couldn't be happier for Mr. Jamahal Hill. Thanks for watching this video, guys. We're your hub for all things combat sports. If that's your jam, we appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video, and drop us a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Peace.